Good morning, students. So, for today in this session, we will understand how to find the equivalence of two finite automata. So, that is, we are going to find whether the two automatas are equivalent or not. Okay. The voice audible to you? Anyone, please reply me in the chat box. Is my voice audible to you? Okay, thank you. So, these are all the Unit 2 topics. Okay. First, the Unit 2 starts with the definition of regular language. Then one of the representation of regular language, that is regular expression. One more representation, which is automata, finite automata, which we have covered in Unit 1. Next, operators in regular expressions. So operators means the regular expressions are closed under the three operators: union, concatenation, and clean closure. Next, some identities in regular expression. Okay. I think 10 to 12 identities are there. Next concept, part B question, finite automata to regular expression conversion. So on this, the first part, which is RIJ method. So using RIJ method, you can convert the given DFA, deterministic finite automata, to regular expression conversion. It has its own theorem. It follows its theorem as basis and inductive steps. In the basis steps, the two cases are there: I equal to j, I not equal to j. So I equal to j means the cases 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. So these cases are I equal to j. So for these states, how to find the basis k equal to 0. So k equal to 0 means it starts with epsilon. Okay. So, basis part, which has two cases: I equal to 0, I not equal to 0. Then inductive parts, it starts from k equal to 1 cases. It follows its own formula. If number of states equal to 2 means, so what's the value of k in RIJ method? The value of k equal to 0, 1, 2. Okay. So k equal to 2, which is the last case in the number of states, which is equal to 2. So in the last case, there is only one uh, regular expression is enough to calculate. So uh, anyone, please reply in the chat box. If number of states equal to 2, the given automata number of states which is equal to 2. So what is the k value in RIJ method? The k value, it starts from 0, 1, 2. So k equal to 2, which is the last part. So in the last part, so only one thing is enough to calculate. So what is it? Kindly post in the chat box. So number of states which is equal to 2 means k equal to 0, k equal to 1, k equal to 2. So k equal to 1 means 1, 1, 1, 2, okay, 2, 1, 2, 2. So k equal to 2. In the case k equal to 2, the only one thing is enough to calculate. What is this? Anyone, please post in the chat box. So kindly recall the previous sessions. RIJ method is the one of the important part B question. No one? Two, two? No. Yes, 1, 2. Okay. So here R1, 2 of power 2. Okay. So here I equal to 1, j equal to 2, k equal to 2. Okay. So R1 to power 2. So this regular expression, which is the actual regular expression of the given automata. Okay. Next, state elimination method. This is the method used to convert automata to regular expression. The automata may be DFA, NFA, epsilon NFA. Okay. So RIJ method, which is only suitable for in single case DFA to regular expression. But using state elimination method, you can convert any automata to regular expression. That it has its own rules. Okay, you have to follow some rules. That is there any incoming edge to the initial state, making a new initial state? If there is any outgoing edges from the final state, making a new final state. Then if multiple number of final states are there in automata, means making a single final state. Then starting with eliminate the intermediate state. Okay, some few procedures are there. Next, the next, the reverse part, which is regular expression to finite automata conversion. Okay, I have written actually in the content is wrong in the slide. Regular expression to finite automata conversion. So only one case in the textbook, that is regular expression to epsilon NFA conversion. It has its own theorem having basis and induction part. So basis part means how to construct epsilon, how to construct phi, how to construct a simple A. In the inductive part, A plus B. Okay, the representation of A plus B in automata, representation of concatenation. That is RE, R plus E, RE, then closure, R plus E, the whole closure. Okay, it has its own procedures you have to follow to convert the given regular expression to epsilon NFA conversion. Next is the pumping lemma. Okay, so what's the use of pumping lemma? So using the pumping lemma concept, uh, you can able to prove that a given language is not regular. Okay, so if you want to prove the given language is not regular, means going for the pumping lemma concept, it has its own procedure and it uses contradiction procedure. Okay, that means first starts with the given languages assumption of the given language is regular. Then based on the pumping, you have to set some pumping length. So I always used to pumping length, which is p equal to 4. Then some conditions, three conditions: x, y power I, z, okay, which belongs to the given regular expression. Then length of xy, which is greater than or equal to p. Then length of y, which is greater than 0. So these three conditions, if a regular language, if a given language which is regular, means the three conditions must be satisfied. Okay, if any one of the conditions failed, means then obviously the given language is not regular. Okay, next, closure properties of regular language is almost 7 to 8 properties are there. Starting with the union of two regular expression is regular, the concatenation of two regular expression is regular, then intersection, reverse, then complement, okay. Homomorphism, inverse homomorphism, so many things you have covered in closure properties of regular language. Next, minimization of DFA. There are two methods in minimization of DFA. The first one, table filling method, that is, which is also called Myhill-Nerode method. The second one, partitioning method or state equivalence method. Okay. So the last topic in unit 2, which is equivalence between two automata. Okay, I will move into the slide. Wait a minute. Equivalence of two automata. Yes. Equivalence of two finite automata. Okay. So the definition, actually, what the definition means: two finite automata are said to be equivalent if they accept the same set of strings. Okay, two finite automata are said to be equivalent if they accept the same set of strings. Suppose if W is a string, then on processing W, if finite automata 1 reaches the final state and finite automata 2 also reaches the final state, then they both are equivalent. And if any one of them fails to reach final state, then they both are non-equivalent. Okay, this is the definition of equivalence of two automata. Only two basic conditions are there. Okay, in the equivalence of two finite automata. Before proceeding the problem, first you have to check whether the two conditions is satisfied or not. The first condition, both the finite automata should process the same sigma, that is alphabet. Okay, if one automata, the input of the one automata which is a comma b means the input of the other automata which is also a comma b or 0 comma 1 or 0 comma 1. Okay, so both the finite automata should process the same sigma, the alphabet. That is, both should have the input symbols from same alphabet. Okay. Next, this is the first basic condition number 1. Okay, if it is not satisfied means then obviously the given automatas are not equivalent. Okay, just leave it. Second basic condition, if there is a state in finite automata such that the state is the initial as well as the final state. Okay, if any one automata in this initial state which also acts as a final state means, then the other automata should also contain a state which is initial as well as final. Okay, so if any one automata, the initial state which will act as a final state means in the other automata also the same thing will be reflected. The initial state will act as a final state too. Okay, these are the basic two conditions. Okay, first I'm going to move to problem. This is the given automata. Okay, so here your inputs are transition diagram of two automata. So I'm going to check whether these two automata is equivalent or not. Okay, I have shown here a simple method. Okay, to calculate whether these two automata are equivalent or not. First, I will check the basic condition number 1, alphabet, which is based on the alphabet. In the finite automata 1, what's the alphabet here? C comma D. In the finite automata number 2, here also the alphabet C comma D. Okay, so both are same. Next thing, if there is a final state, okay, next combination, in this automata number 1, the initial state will act as a final state too. Second thing, in automata 2 also the initial state which is act as a final state too. So the condition number 2 is also satisfied. Okay, if in finite automata 1 initial state will not act as a final state means in finite automata 2 also the initial state will not act as a final state. Okay, so I think the basic two conditions are almost satisfied. So there is no any hurdles to proceed the problem. I'm going to how to solve the problem. Solution. So here the alphabet which is C. Alphabet what is C comma D. Okay. Next. So I'm going to first write state. State, then C and D. Okay. This is one of the easiest method. First, I will start with the state, the initial states of two automata. So in the automata number 1, what's the initial state? Q1. In the automata number 2, Q4, which is the initial state. So I will starting the pair with initial states of two automata. That is Q1, Q4. Okay. So Q1 on 0. Q1 on 0, it goes to Q1 only. Then Q4 on not 0, C. Q4 on C, it is also retained in the same state Q4 only, which brings the same state Q1, Q4. Okay. Actually, then next D, Q1 on D, it moves to Q2. Next, Q4 on D, which moves to Q5. This is one of the new pair, right? Q2, Q1. So I'm going to check whether this is the valid pair or not. How means Q2 in automata number 1. Q2 in automata number 1, which is non-final state, and Q5 in automata number 2, which is also non-final state. So the both pair are non-final. Okay, see, that is here it is a valid pair. Okay, a valid pair only. Okay, next, and this is the new pair, so I have to include here Q2, Q5, Q2, Q5. Okay, Q2 on receiving C, Q3, it moves to Q3. Okay, and Q5 on receiving C, it moves to Q7. So I'm going to check whether this is the valid pair or not. Since it is a new pair, Q3, which is non-final, and Q7, which is also non-final. Okay, so this is also non-final. This is also non-final. So this is the valid pair. Next, Q2 on D. It goes to Q1 only. Q2 on D. Q1. Then Q5 on D. It moves to Q4 only. This is also valid pair which we have already processed. Okay, this is the starting pair, starting states of the both automata. Next, the new pair Q3, Q7. So I added here Q3, Q7. Okay. So Q3 on C, Q3 on C, which moves to Q2. Then Q7 on C, which moves to Q6. I'm going to check whether this pair is valid or not. Q2, which is non-final, and also Q6, which is also non-final. Okay. This is non-final, and this is also non-final. So next, D, Q3 on D, which moves to Q3 only. Then Q7 on D, which moves to Q7 only. So this pair is already added here. So the new combination, which is Q2, Q6. So I have rewritten here Q2, Q6. So Q2 on C. Q2 on C, it moves to Q3. Next, Q6 on C, it moves to Q7. This pair is already added. Okay, next, Q2 on D. Q2 on D, it goes to Q1. Then Q6 on D, Q6 on D, which goes to Q4. This pair is also already added. No more new pair here. So almost over. See Q3, Q7. This also already added. Q1, Q4. This pair is also already added. So no more new pair is generated. So if I am adding Q3, Q7 again here means that this things is repeated. Okay, so this is going to end. Okay, so as of now, no more new states are added and all pairs are valid pair. Okay, so the given two automatas are equivalent. Okay, the given two automatas are equivalent. Next. Next problem. Here too, I'm going to check whether these two automatas are equivalent or not. So what is the basic condition number one? Okay, both are should be in the same alphabet. Finite automata, first automata A. Okay, so this automata, the alphabet which is C comma D. In this automata also the alphabet which is C comma D. Yes. So in that first automata, the starting state Q1, which also acts as the final state. In the second automata too, the starting state Q4, which is also acting as the final state. Okay, you can proceed the problem. First, you have to write state condition. State, then the alphabet C and D. So starting with the initial state pair. So the initial state of automata 1 Q4, Q1, the initial state of automata 2 Q4. Q1, Q4. So Q1 on C, Q1 only. Q4 on C, Q4 only. The same state. Next, Q1 on D, Q2. Then Q4 on D, Q5. I'm going to check whether this is valid or not. Q2, non-final, and Q5, which is also non-final. Okay. Both the pair are non-final, a valid pair. So I can proceed. So I have rewritten the new pair on the left side. Q2, Q5. Then Q2 on C. Q2 on C, it moves to Q3. Next, Q5 on C, it moves to Q7. Next, Q2 on D, which goes to Q1. And then Q5 on D, which goes to Q6. I'm going to check the value, whether this pair is valid or not. First, Q3. Q3, non-final, and Q7, which is also non-final. Okay, so this pair is almost a valid one. This is non-final, and this is also non-final. Next, Q1. Q1, which is final. Okay, but what about Q6? Q6, which is non-final. A mismatched pair here. Okay. So since I have encountered a mismatched pair, final and non-final, I just stop the iteration process. I can conclude that these two automatas are non-equivalent. Okay, very simple procedure. Okay. So now, so this is the definition part. Then the basic conditions of equivalence and first two problems are over almost. Next, I will come with one more problem. This is the textbook problem. Okay, and this is the method actually. Uh, in your textbook, they are using the method as table filling method. So, okay, using the table filling method, they are compared the two automatas are equivalent or not. Okay, so using the table filling method. So why I'm choosing this method means which is the easiest one. Okay, if the automata number of automatas number of states are increasing means applying table filling method is a tedious one. Okay, so this is the easiest method which I have found. Okay, and but in your textbook they are using the same existing method, table filling method. Okay, so using the table filling method, we are going to check whether the two automatas are equivalent or not. Okay. So what's the first step in the table filling method? So you have to draw a table for all combinations of states P comma Q, right? So draw a table. Here the table which is based on the two states, combination of two automata states. See, here number of states which is A comma B, right? A comma B. Here number of states which is C, D, E. And the basic conditions are both common to two methods. Here too, the input alphabet 0, 1. Both automatas are worked on the alphabet 0, 1. And in the automata number 1, the initial state which is act as a final state 2. The automata number 2 also the initial state which is act as a final state 2. The basic conditions are most satisfied in this automatas. So here number of state A comma B, number of here second automata C D E, total five number of total number of states 5. So the table which is no need to draw a full table, right? So this is enough. The left side starting with B C D E, and here bottom starting with A B C D. Okay, the E is left. In this A is left. Okay, here just A is left. Here the E is left. Okay, so this is the actual processed table. Okay, the other parts are I just removed the upper part. So B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D. Okay, so what's the first step number 1 in table filling method? We are going to mark the pair, okay, which is final and non-final pair. Okay, see here the first pair, which is what AB pair. In the automata, I'm going to check AB, A which is final, B which is non-final. So I have marked in the step number 1. That is why it is marked. Next, CA pair. So here CA pair, CA here actually this A and C. Okay, and the first automata A which is final, C which is also final, but the same pair. Okay, so just unmark the pair. Next pair, that is CB. CB means here C, B, B which is non-final, C which is final. Okay, this is the pair which we have want in the step number 1. So the BC pair is a valid one as per table filling in the step number 1. So which is marked. So next AD pair, A which is final, D which is also final, so unmarked. Okay, then BD pair, B which is non-final, D which is final, so marked. Then CD pair, C and D, so both are final, so unmarked. Then AE pair, A which is final, E which is non-final, so marked. BE pair, so BE pair, B which is final and E which is B which is non-final, E which is non-final, so unmarked. Then CE pair, C which is final, E which is non-final, that is marked. Then DE pair, D which is final, E which is non-final. That is why it is marked in the step number 1. In the step number 2, choose the unmarked pairs. For example, I am choosing the unmarked pair here, AC pair, right? AC. Then transition on both AC. For if it is 0 and here it is 0, yes, 0 and 1. So A on 0, A only, A on 0, A only, then C on 0, D only. Okay. Next, A on 1, A on 1, B only, C on 1, C on 1, E only. I'm going to check whether this pair is marked or not. AD pair which is unmarked, BE pair which is also unmarked. That is why AC is left as unmarked. Okay, AC which is also unmarked. So in the same way, you have to check whether all unmarked remaining pairs. AD pair, okay, then then CD pair, then BE pair. So in the all these, we have encountered all these things based on the transitions. All pairs are unmarked only. Okay, just after the classes are over, just to finish the problem, all the pairs are unmarked only. Okay, so in our final after step number 2, what's the output of this problem? The pairs with the unmarked pairs, AC, AD, so in the step number 2 also we have no any encountered any marked pairs. Okay, almost step number 1 and step number 2 both are same. So no need to proceed the iteration number 2. That's enough. Leave it. So this is the unmarked pairs. And for this problem, this is the unmarked pairs. So I'm going to check whether these two automatas are equivalent or not, right? So here in the unmarked pairs, see, I'm going to check whether the any one of the pair which is starting state of both automata. Okay. So what is the starting state of first automata, which is A? What is the starting state of second automata, which is C? AC. Yes. Okay. As per table filling method, the unmarked pairs are equivalent, right? So as per table filling method, the unmarked pairs are equivalent. We just put it in the same thing. Okay. Yeah, while in the minimization of automata, but here we are going to check the unmarked pairs whether any one of the pair which is the final state of both automata. Yes, in this AC, this pair which is the starting state of both automata, that pair is included here. That is why these two automatas are equivalent. Okay, so one of the pair which is starting state of both automata. Okay, so I conclude that these two automatas are equivalent. This is your textbook method. Okay. But if your automata, if the number of states which is 4, and in the second automata which is number of state which is 4, means 4 to 4, 8 combinations. So your table is almost a large one. I have prefer the first method. Okay. So which is based on your choice. Either you can choose first method or table filling method. Okay, to solve the problem whether these two automatas are equivalent or not. Okay. So this is the last topic in unit number 2. So almost the unit number 2 is over. Okay. Is there any doubt? So take a paper and you have to check the part. You have to check the pair AD. Okay. You have to check the pair AD, CD, BE. Okay, is there any possible to mark? Okay, just do it by your own. Just more than 5 minutes, and then I just covered AC combination. The parts are AD, BE. Both parts are unmarked only. AD is also unmarked. Then BE, which is also unmarked. That is why A is unmarked. So now in the same way, you are doing in the pair AD, CD, BE. If you are able to find any marked pairs, okay, I think no. Okay, you're just verifying it. You take a paper and do it by your own. Okay, just you will check whether these four pairs are only equivalent. Okay, and marked pairs. Okay, post your answer. AD on 0, AD on 0, AD on 1. Okay, AD on 0, AD. AD on 1, BE. Yes, BE. I'm going to check whether these pair are marked or not. AD pair, AD which is also unmarked, and BE, BE which is also unmarked. Okay, so since AD is also unmarked, so CD what is 0, 1, BE what is 0, 1. Okay, BD, BD. uh, Same pair, no need to proceed on this kind of pair in table filling method. CD on 1. Mm, no need to proceed this kind of pair. Leave it. VE on 0 and 1. VE. Okay, AC. This is AC. AC is also unmarked. Okay. AC, which is also unmarked. What about BE on 1? Yes, BE is also unmarked. Right? So no need to proceed iteration number 2. Almost iteration step number 1 and step number 2, iteration number 1, which is also equal. Okay, there is no use in proceeding iteration number 2. Okay, since all the pairs are unmarked. So the given pairs AC, AD, CD, BE. So are the unmarked pairs within this AC, which is one of the pair which has the starting state of both automata. So these two automatas are equivalent. Okay. Any doubt? Unit number 2 is over. If you have any doubt, just post in the chat box.